Yo, we out here, we live. Happy Wednesday, February 5th, 2020. It's a good day. It's a good day. 9 games. I'm jamming. Yo, we're trying to get this bang. A 4-team trade. Yo, how many times on Twitter do you see like speculatory trades that involve 800 teams and whatnot, and then we finally got one of those, and it is really confusing. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But last night, 4 games of NBA basketball took place. James Harden was your Slate leading scorer, almost 80 fantasy points. Nikola Jokic with a nice 69, Giannis 67, LeBron 62. The stars were shining last night, and it was just a matter of getting your value right. And on a slate that did not have Russell Westbrook, a lot of the value was straight up the Rockets. I had a whole lot of 4-man Rocket stacks, and it worked out. It did well. The one guy who didn't show up last night from a fantasy perspective, Damian Lillard, right? Damian Lillard only had 39.5 fantasy points, so he has been on an incredible tear last night. That tear kind of let you down, but other than that, man, it was a really high scoring because all of the, it's a 4-game slate, and a lot of people just hit it, right? Chris Middleton was somebody I leaned on a lot. He came through for me. I'm happy about that. Really, all of the Bucks starting 5 was a full stack. Like, even Wesley Matthews 27 at 3K. Yeah, you'd probably take some of that, as my co-host would usually say. But wild night for real life basketball, then wild night for sports trades. Baseball has had a trade, right? Mookie Betts goes to Los Angeles. That sends Jock Peterson to the Angels. It also puts Price with the Dodgers, and then the Twins ended up with Kenta Maeda. It was weird. I was like, all right, yeah, baseball. It's baseball season. Super Bowl's over. Let's go. And then at like midnight, the NBA gets a little crazy with it, and Clint Capella is traded and part of a giant 4-team deal that we might have to get to the bottom of. But just know this, the Nuggets and the Timberwolves were key parts of this deal, and they play today, and there's a good chance that none of these guys they traded for will be ready to go, which means they're going to be very, very, very short-staffed, and we might be targeting them for low bench, low roster, high minutes. So yeah, it's going to get wild. I'm Gun, twitter.com/GundackerSports, and you're you, and I appreciate you being you, and I appreciate you watching live. If you guys are on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't, and if you're on YouTube and you look for another way to consume the content, we do co-stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Gundacker99. Hey, yo, appreciate that follow, JC. Is it Jay Clinton or JC Linton? Is it Pet Smart or is it Pet Smart? Okay. Get me in this. Yeah, 1 second, buddy. Shout out to Stu Ernesto. Broken Tubing says, I think I'm going to make tonight's picks naked. Hey now. I didn't know clothes were, never mind. Ernesto says, I got my Roxbury head nodding to this music. Okay, buddy. What up, Danielle? Danny Noodle? Stu says, Tristan Thompson's out now. Nance and play like we needed more value. The slate's about to get crazy. Not just an NBA. Yeah. I had to mention that. What up, T-Spaz? Trying to win money, so I was acting like them Dominicans down top. Okay, buddy. I'm going to miss Brewster, nice guy. Dude had to mention Mookie. Hey, man, I think everyone knows I live for the New York Yankees, and as a member of the AL East, it is going to hurt to know that Mookie Betts is not in our division. Oh, it's a shame that we don't have to face this guy all the time, and you don't have to rob all that. We still got Jackie Bradley robbing our center field home run, so relax. I'm more upset that David Price is gone, because Red Sox fans in the chat, you got to know David Price against the Yankees, man. That's like a national holiday for us, and now that that's not going to happen as often, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? Jay Clinton. Well, appreciate that follow, Jay Clinton. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to get my co-host Raj in here, and he's going to say, yo.
Kill me for it if you want.
Yo. What's going on? Another day, another grind.
You're so basic.
Okay, whoa. We far from basic, baby. Stop this.
What it do, Paul Wall?
It's another day. Should be a fun slate today. Big trade in two sports yesterday.
Yeah,
basketball and baseball. Making trades.
Just talked about that. AL East. Hey man, the Rays. There's still the Rays, right? The Rays could be good.
I mean the Jays. Yeah, we got some up and comers. We got some pitching. I don't know. The Jays could be a little sneaky. We can be a second best team in that.
Okay, second best maybe, but you better than the Red Sox? Sure.
I mean, how's Chris Sale really gonna do? I mean, their bat takes a hit. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how the Red Sox. I feel like their pitching is a little iffy.
So Benintendi, JD Martinez, Rafael Devers. I'm trying to think of who guys that I really respect on the Red Sox. That's pretty much it.
Peterson's 11 now.
Huh? But yeah, with the Angels, yeah. Angels are interesting. I wish the Angels had pitching because I really do root for the Angels. Not root for them, but who hates the Angels?
Root for Trout to get a ring. Yeah. I need Trout to get a ring.
Well, he not okay. We got that taken care of, but root for him to get traded. And
the Dodgers lineup though, you're gonna be stacking them every day.
Glad the Skankies didn't get him. Who, Mookie? Yankees didn't want Mookie. Get out of here. I mean, didn't want in quotation, right? If they could have got him, sure, but
Yankees might get they can maybe try for Lindor now.
Maybe. I'm not one of those greedy Yankee fans that think that we have to have.
I mean, you got Garrett Cole. It's just like, come on, what else?
I personally think we have. Well, the Dodgers are really good. I was gonna say I think we have the best team in baseball, but the Dodgers, I can't.
If it's a Yankee Dodger World Series, I'm all for it. Bro, it should be a fun one.
Let's just fast forward the season, go straight to October, man. Right. Everyone there, dude. Oh my God. Oh, that's a collision course right there.
I mean, and then we got the Hawks. I mean, Capella's they gave up very little for Capella.
Yeah. Where can I pull the whole recap of that trade up? I guess let me pull up. Actually, Fantasy Labs. Hello. Let's pull up Fantasy Labs.
Which team got fleeced there?
Fleeced? Man, I don't know, but I do know that Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't seem to love the fact that Covington, who is his best friend on the team, got traded. So that might just create some trouble in paradise. But Capella and the Hawks, I like that move. I think the Hawks are now going to be motivated to trade Alex Len. And I think, they've been dealing with his contract all year, trying to find a spot for him. I don't think that's going to change the Hawks this season. But I do think
I think they could sneak into the playoffs.
You think the Hawks get into the playoffs this year? Is that what you just said?
They sneak into the playoffs, 8-7 seed.
I mean, Eastern Conference is whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me take a look at it. Eastern Conference. What the heck? Dude, I typed in Eastern Conference standings in a Fortnite.
How far now? They're 7-25. Never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about that.
38, sorry.
They're about to go on some crazy winning spree.
Yeah. I mean, the Magic have 22 wins. So, I mean, they're 9 games behind. They post All-Star break.
Yeah, I don't think I think if you talk to any Hawks fan in the Discord, Ed, Cam, I don't think they want to make the playoffs this year. If you can grab Capella and then fall into another good pick next year,
they should have a nice starting 4, starting 5 next year.
Yeah. The Nuggets, interesting, right? Picking up Shabazz Napier, part of that 4-team deal. The Rockets have pretty much said if you're 7 foot, we don't want you. Like, get off the team.
Real small, run up and down the court. Should be fun to target them in DFS with bigs for the rest of the year.
Yeah. But, yeah, 2 of these teams play tonight. And it could get, or 3 of these teams, rather, play tonight. And it can get really, really weird. So let's get cranked up. Let me go to Fantasy Labs Twitter here, just kind of see the news that we're watching. They tweeted out their 3 p.m. tweet. Trae Young and Kevin Hurt are probable. DeAndre Hunter, Bruno Fernando questionable. Jonas Valanciunas questionable. Evan Fournier probable. Jeremy Grant doubtful. Michael Porter Jr. to be determined. Tristan Thompson doubtful. Looks like he's out, and we should be looking at Larry Nance. Seth Curry, JJ Barea questionable. So this slate is just laced with potential value. And if you guys have ever played NBA DFS during like the last week of the season where teams are eliminated or teams are in and they just start resting and they throw out 6-7 man rotations, guys play like 38 minutes, 40 minutes, there's a real chance that we could see something like that from some of the teams involved in that 14 trade. So I think no matter what their prices are, their minutes that's coming ahead is pretty important. And then also the fact that, hey, one of those teams is the Timberwolves and one of those teams is the Atlanta Hawks, and they're in the same game and they have a 239 total. So that game is really full stackable. If you can get Trae and Cat, against each other at $20,000, $27,000 DraftKings dollars, and then good luck with the rest. But man, we have really got a lot of opportunity for value today, and even more so now due to this trade that happened last night. So we're going to do our best to navigate through each of the 9 games, try to find guys that we like at price points on both FanDuel DraftKings. If you guys have Yahoo-specific questions, drop them in chat. If you have any questions, drop them in chat. We'll do our best to navigate through. One last look at chat before we get cranked up. Indians better not cap this year. I thought Indians were motivated to sell Lindor and Clevenger, but I don't understand the Indians because that division with AL Central, that division, is it the Central? AL Central. I'm pretty sure it's the AL Central. That division is anyone's ball game. And last year the Minnesota Twins was a 100-win team because the Royals and White Sox existed. Like that's not a division that the Indians need a whole lot to be able to win. Like trading Trevor Bauer last season, I didn't quite understand that because they were still fighting for a playoff spot. Like what? No, you guys, what are we doing here? So yeah, if I'm an Indians fan, I feel pretty frustrated, especially knowing now that there's a chance Mike Clevenger could be on the move or Lindor for the right package. Every time I heard a Lindor trade possibility, it always involved the Dodgers and that they would like maybe give up Corey Seager or something like that. So I don't know if maybe this trade kills that, and maybe that lowers the market value for Lindor or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't imagine, and I couldn't imagine being a Red Sox fan and that feeling. I mean, it when Odell Beckham got traded, as a at the time Giants fan. That was a punch in the gut, dog. It was what? That's like my favorite player. That's our guy.
How did they have to trade Mookie? They couldn't afford him?
But going past this season, they weren't going to be able to afford him. So I think he was on a 1-year, like almost $30 million contract, and essentially he would have been a free agent after this year. So if you can rent him out for the most that you can get, do it.
Got the David Price contract off the books, which is
no, they got half of it off the books. I think like 90 million.
half. Which is still something.
Yeah. What up, Hunter? Appreciate that thumbs up. My Detroit Tigers are single A team. The Tigers drafted Patrick Mahomes. Take solace in knowing that they're great at scouting quarterbacks. New 99 overall Andrew Jones in MLB The Show. It just came out. They're, like, new cards are dropping now, or are you talking about for the next one? I'm glad Odell got traded to Cleveland. Wouldn't want him playing anywhere else. He might next year. But anyway, that's what I was saying. Like, Mookie's like your guy, right? Like, guys, I don't even want to say this sentence and put it out there, but if Aaron Judge was traded, I wouldn't get out of bed. I'd be crying all day, bro. Like what? And so as a Red Sox fan, I'm sure that's just like really, oh man.
You know, if he was traded for like Christian Yelich,
no,
Mike Trout,
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. No,
you're not.
It's more. No, shut up. No,
you don't trade him for Christian Yelich or Mike Trout.
No, Yelich, shut up. Shut all the way up. Yelich, get the freak out of here.
Better player than
Trout, sure, but no, get out of here. Anyway, but that's every team has those franchise players that you just want to be lifers, and Mookie's in his prime, and you're just like, oh man, you got rid of Mookie. So I can only empathize or sympathize. I can empathize because of the Odell situation, but yeah, tough time for a Red Sox fan, and incredible time for Dodgers fans. Oh man, Yankees and Dodgers, man, collision course. I'm with it though.
Like a perfect collision course the past couple years. If it weren't for the Rays and the Red Sox cheating, it might have happened.
Yeah, that's another thing. They might have done him a service. I don't know how serious the Red Sox were into this cheating stuff. I don't know if it's as elaborate as the Astros, but Alex Cora getting fired might be a strong enough hint. Anyway, let's get cranked up. Let's get back to basketball because you guys know I will talk baseball to the end of time. Game number 1 tonight, the Detroit Pistons hosting the Phoenix Suns. Project starting 5 for the Suns: Ricky Rubio, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Kelly Oubre Jr., DeAndre Ayton taking on Reggie Jackson, Tony Snell, Bruce Brown, Sekou Doumbouya, and Andre the Giant Drummond. We got ourselves a 218.5 total 3.5 point spread in favor of the Phoenix Suns. That's right, the visiting Phoenix Suns are favorited in a basketball game across the country. That's an amazing time to be alive. A lot of prices that really stick out here on the Phoenix Suns side. Devin Booker, 8,300, definitely a guy that can go get you that 45, 50 fantasy points here. Ricky Rubio has been 6K or less on both sides here, and I get it. Like maybe his fantasy point column isn't like incredible, but man, you just feel like there's enough potential at 5,900 that you want to keep taking shots. He got 19 minutes in that game against Brooklyn, had 4 fouls there. Prior to that, 30, 26, 31. Definitely a price point where I'm looking for the north side of 30 fantasy points. And it just seemed like if you look at the beginning of the season, Ricky Rubio was so consistent when it came to getting to that 30-point area. Lately, not so much, but in his last 10, there's as much as a 65, which did coincide with his birth of his child, and 30s and 28. So at 5,900, I'm still, the heart wants what the heart wants. You feel like there's a chance. But Devin Booker seems like the more sought after play here, the more lucrative guy here. But really, you could come at me with just about any Sun starter here, DeAndre Ayton included, 8,300 for him. I'm not too fearful of the Pistons front court defense. And then Kelly Oubre at 7K. I need that 40 plus as well. But really, all the Phoenix Suns I think are viable options. We can project them all for north of 30 minutes, and I think they're all in play. But my forefront guys would be Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. If we go look at that team DVP chart, the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet, Detroit is giving up the third most fantasy points per game to opposing centers on this slate, and that's good news for DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton in the last couple games as a starting center here, as they play a little bit smaller without guys like Aaron Baines and Frank Kaminsky in the mix. It's his minutes to lose, 34, 30, 40 minutes in his last 3 games, and he's been pretty efficient for the most part. Last 2 games, 14, 17 rebounds on top of 20-plus real points. So good spot for Ayton. I definitely will have him in the mix. And like I said, Devin Booker, as he starts his all-star snub campaign, is definitely in play. By the way, how ironic that you came at me with that bullcrap take that Devin Booker over CP3 in the All-Star game, and then Devin Booker gets you 11 real points against the Brooklyn Nets. I'm just saying, a little bit ironic, but here I trust them to get back on the right course. On the Detroit Pistons side, they are dealing with a couple of knickknacks. Luke Kennard, by the way, he could leave tonight in the other locker room. The Suns and Luke Kennard are like the Suns and the Pistons are apparently in advanced stages of a potential trade for Luke Kennard. So just something to keep in mind. Maybe one of these Suns players ends up a Piston tonight. We'll see. But Derrick Rose out, Svi Mikhailiuk out. So this guard rotation gets a little bit shallow. Bruce Brown Jr. probably the guy that benefits the most minute-wise, but you'll see Reggie Jackson get an opportunity. You'll see Langston Galloway pick up some minutes here. So all those guys, if you feel like you can get there at their price points, sure. Reggie Jackson's essentially 5K on both sites. We have seen some really nice outbursts of efficiency since he's come back. Do I trust it? Probably not. Memphis, 24 minutes, 17, but prior to that, we got a 30, we got a 37 here. He has shown a little bit of upside at this price. I think what I'm looking for the most out of Reggie Jackson here is the potential to go get that 30-minute threshold, and he's done that in 2 of the last 3 games, so I kind of trust that they can do that here. And at 4,900, I could throw a 25 in my lineup and not feel the worst, but I do think today, more so than ever, 9-game slate with all this trade value, I need that 30. I gotta have that bare bones min 30 out of this $4,900 price tag. So if I play him, that's what I want. That's what I want. Same with Bruce Brown. Andre Drummond firing back at DeAndre Ayton. Sure, 9,300. That's a price point where he can, easily top 50 fantasy points. He's done that in his last 2 games. Has not played Phoenix yet, but definitely a guy that's going to absolve or assume a lot of usage with this current lineup rotation. I do have a Q tag on Markieff, but I think we're expecting him to go. I'll double check on that. Markieff Morris is listed as questionable with a hip. He has missed the past 2 games for Detroit, and with the trade deadline rapidly approaching, it wouldn't be surprising to see him skip Wednesday's game. All right, so maybe he's way more questionable than I thought he was. If Markieff was unable to go here, would be a good plus or bump for Christian Wood. He's 4,500 on FanDuel, almost 5K on DraftKings. Again, kind of in that territory where I'm looking for 30 fantasy points, but he could get you there. On the Sun side, without Dario Saric, Kaminsky, and Aaron Baines, that creates all the minutes that Kelly Oubre and DeAndre Ayton can handle. But if one of them were to get in some foul trouble, you might see an elevated opportunity for Cheikh Diallo at 3,200 on DraftKings. It's at best is a risky value punt play for me. But 14 and 26 minutes the last 2 games in similar situations. He's a point per minute type of guy, but you need those minutes. So that's game number 1, man. Anything special that you're doing with this game? Awkward silence. Did he DC? No, he did. Oh, I gotta drag him in here. Wait,
I clicked the wrong button there. My bad, and accidentally left the chat there. But the one guy I think who I think missed, who I'm really in love with today, is Reggie Jackson.
I didn't
no
miss
Derrick
him.
Rose.
Sure. Go ahead.
I think he shot 1 for 16. Mm-hmm. If he ever has even like an average shooting game, he blows up that slate at that price at Memphis is probably chalk today. So give me all the Reggie Jackson. Phoenix is bottom 10 against point guards. Expect him to have a bounce back here. 4,900, plenty of meat on the bone. Love him. I'm on Detroit side. Andre Drummond. Center's a deep position today with the value guys, Towns in the spot. So it's a lot of options today at center. Like you said, Phoenix with Ayton, Drummond, more centers to come, Jokic, Towns. So I don't know how much I'll get to him. Great spots, obviously. But, is Ayton at 8-3? Are you going to tier 1 and tier 2 him? You got Towns for sure, like as a tier 1. Joker's going to play a bunch of minutes. You have the value guys at 3K centers.
Definitely, not a tier 1, but I think they're extremely viable. I don't know. I'm gonna try to make my player pool as tight as possible tonight, but at the same time, you gotta appreciate a mindset that's a little bit contrarian, and guys that might just get like left in the cracks here. And I think Ayton and Drummond are definitely 2 of those guys. But yeah, I don't really see the need. Really, anyone in this game to be tier 1, but I could also just see, hey, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Andre Drummond, like all those guys are guys that can have 50 fantasy points. I'm not saying all 3 together, but those are guys that exist with 50-point potential. So don't forget about them when you're making your player pools. That's pretty much what I'm getting at.
But I think my favorite guy in this game is probably still Reggie Jackson. rolling with him. Going to have a ton of him. Probably, I want to say 50 to 60%.
You're gonna have 50 to 60%.
I'm gonna roll. I'm so high on him. I think the field is gonna be at like 10%, if that. I just want to be heads above the field. I just think the smash spot, 40-50 bomb.
Dude, when's the Reggie Jackson 40-50 bomb? Are we thinking about the same Reggie Jackson? Are we thinking about the
I think he's
baseball?
gonna play 24 minutes again. I think I'll give him 30 minutes again. Great spot. Again, no Derrick Rose.
Here we go, chat. Give me some of that. 40-50 bomb.
Reggie Jackson 40 bomb today.
I'm literally curious. That's all, folks. I'm legitimately curious. When's the last time Reggie Jackson had 50 fantasy points? Reggie Jackson. I don't even know how to. Jesus. DK.
Last year.
I don't know. Reggie Jackson. I don't even know how to look this up. Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson most DKP by game log last 10 last 200 games. Maybe this one. For which league? Yeah, the baseball player might have more 50 bombs than freaking. All right, so he has had 3 games in his career, but this last 3 years with 50 fantasy points.
Give me those 40.
I see, but what I'm getting, I don't think you like this. Reggie Jackson's not who you think he is.
As long as Reggie Jackson's gonna take 16 to 20 shots from me against the Phoenix Suns, I got the pickup. My bad. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, take that Reggie Jackson 40 bomb to the bank.
No, I like the play itself, Chad. I'm not poo-pooing the play. I do think 30 fantasy points is there, but good God, if you got 50 tonight, Jesus, I don't know about that one. Give me some of that. I'm telling you, Raj could be onto something, especially if D Rose is traded. No, the play is there because 30 is like I was saying before. Raj DC'd because he doesn't know how to internet. 30 fantasy points is what I need, and 30 is kind of like the right place for Reggie Jackson. Like the reason why he doesn't get a lot of 40s or whatever from the last couple of years is Stan Van Gundy had him on like a 28-30 minute ceiling, and I still think he's going to be in that area. But 30, I don't know how many times he blows me away with like 45. Definitely don't know about 50, but 30 is what I need. So if you think you can get 30, and so shooting 16 shots is a good sign, then it's fine. Would I have 50%?
Bottom 10 against point guards.
Would I have 50% of Reggie Jackson? No. Would I have Reggie Jackson in my pool? Yes. Tier, I guess it'd be a value play because it's under 5K. 20. I'd probably cap him at 20. We'll see. We'll see how much I like the rest of the slate. But you're a little aggressive at 50%.
I like that. It just seems like everyone's running to Mike Conley at that price tag today. Like his ownership's going to be through the roof, and I just love the Reggie Jackson pivot.
I haven't got to like the Conley situation, but if everyone's running to Mike Conley, it's going to be a good night. What else we got, chat? Enjoy that 32.25 DK, Raj. Yes, sir.
Hey, if that's the floor, I'm gonna ride that all day.
You gonna ride Reggie Jackson all day?
But yeah.
Let's move on to the next game as we let him soak in that statement. Orlando Magic at the Boston Celtics. Projects starting 5 for the Magic. Markelle Fultz, Evan Fournier, Aaron Gordon, Kim Birch, and Nikola Vucevic taking on Javonte Green, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, and they hate us because they ain't us Cantor. 208.5 is our total for this one. 5.5 point spread in favor of the home team Boston Celtics. Marcus Smart out. Kemba Walker out. Robert Williams, Daniel Tice inactive. The Celtics do have an opportunity to give us next man up value. However, this is kind of like the Hawks situation where you just feel like it could be any of the three, and it definitely won't be 3 of the 3.
Jaylen Brown bobblehead night?
It is Jaylen Brown bobblehead night. If you believe in that. Okay.
What's that? Showing the success of bobblehead night, guys?
Yeah, somebody make a Reddit spreadsheet, please. I need this. So anyway, the Celtics are going to be a team that maybe you're interested in kind of figuring out, hey, okay, who could I play now that there's no Kemba and Marcus Smart? You feel like there's something, right? Well, in this situation, I'm not that stoked, man. I think Gordon Hayward 7'6", Tatum 7'9", Brown 7'3". Like, all those guys, I need 40-plus fantasy points. The matchup isn't the best. It's the Orlando Magic. I wouldn't be shocked if the Magic put up a really, really big fight here, knowing that this Celtics team is missing 2 starters. So I'm probably not going to push the issue with these 7K Celtics. I could 100% understand you guys wanting to dab with them. I just don't think I'm going to put myself in that position to figure it out. If I can get Enes Kanter's minute projection to 25 and not 19 where I have it at the moment, then I'll, I might be a little bit more interested in Kanter. I do think Kanter's one of those guys that's matchup proof. Last game out, they said he was going to be on a minute restriction, so there's, he may not even start. But Kanter 4,200, there's some meat on the bone. On the Magic side, Vucevic is 8,400. Kanter's never been world-renowned for his defense here, so it's definitely a spot where maybe Vucevic has a super solid game. Overall, though, we got to anticipate a pretty grindy pace and a pretty a good defensive game. If we go to that team stats tab in the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet, we'll find that the Orlando Magic have the 4th slowest pace in basketball. Celtics are about bottom 10 as well. So on a 9-game slate, that's already kind of a situation where you're not too excited. And then we go to points per game allowed. The Boston Celtics give up the 2nd fewest points per game. The Magic give up the 3rd fewest. So it could be just like a really not sexy game for fantasy. So I think that's where I'm going to put myself at initially. If I got to round the slate again, looking for some supplementary plays as a tier 3, I'll do it. But I really got no one on the forefront. Bobblehead be darned. What say you?
Vooch, another center, and it looks like in a prime spot against Enes Kanter. If he goes for 50 today, wouldn't be shocked at his price point, 8.4. It's another center who might go a little overlooked with the other centers we have to play today. So give me some Vooch, though. Good spot here. Boston, I'm going to keep playing Gordon Hayward. I mean, he's in one of those streaks, man. I mean, in past 5 games, he's at 4 of those games, 40+. 7-6, no Kemba Walker. Take some of that playmaking duties. He dropped 49 on Orlando the game before. That was with I believe no Kemba or Tatum. This one, no Kemba, no Smart. I can see Gordon Hayward still doing this thing. I think I probably want one Boston guy in a lot of lineups just with no Kemba Walker. Tons of usage. So probably won't play 2 of them together, but definitely a Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, or Jason Tatum in one lineup for sure. One of them in a lot of lineups.
Yeah. Keep an eye on that starting lineup. I think Javonte Green started the Atlanta game, and then Brad Wanamaker started the second half. Nonetheless, the Magic are not the Atlanta Hawks defensively, so I'm tapering my expectations. I completely, like I said, if you came at me with anyone, Brown, Tatum, Hayward, you're like, Gun, I'm playing this guy, I'm like, cool, that's you. Like, I get it. The situation's there. For me, on my side, it just seems like this team always has like a 20-22% spread out usage, and you never know. And I also just think like the prices are set to where if I just said screw it, I'm not gonna mess with the Celtics, and Hayward got 40, Tatum got 40, one of these guys got 40. That's kind of what they're priced at anyway. So I'm just gonna like numb my risk tolerance in this situation and just kind of stay away. But that's just me, Chad. If you guys have a tell on the Celtics, go do you. As far as Vucevic, the thought process is pure. I don't mind it. You talked about how DeAndre Ayton is he a tier 1 because of guys like Catton and the value. Vucevic is in the same price range, so I like Ayton more than Vucevic. So I don't even know that I'll have any Vucevic tonight. I dig the play. But 9-game slate, we got to start making some cuts. I probably don't have any Vucevic tonight.
Get it. Like with the centers, I definitely get it. Because center, this is probably the deepest center has been in a long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
In a 1v1, are you playing Ayton or Vucevic? Ayton, knowing that Ayton's basically the only center on the team in a top 3 matchup on the slate versus Vucevic, who is in a bottom matchup. in a slow pace all that. So you play Ayton every time, right? So
I'm playing Ayton every time. Just if Vooch ends up, with a 55-60 in a good game script there, close, no one would be shocked. You know what I mean? If he drops a big game.
Yeah. Anyway, chat, what do you guys got on this one before we matriculate on to the next one? Darius McRae says Wanamaker. I'm probably not going to have Wanamaker tonight. He's 5K. Like I said, the Hawks are the Hawks. It's just a good matchup for everyone. I just think the Celtics are overall priced appropriately to maybe not even median range of outcomes. A couple of these guys might be priced at ceiling for this matchup, so I'm just going to wash my hands with it. Fournier's a lock, according to Ernesto. So Ernesto in the chat have said that Evan Fournier has a really good history against the Boston Celtics. So look this up. BKP by game log versus Boston Celtics last 10 games. Fastest typer in the industry, bro. In the industry. 41, 38, 30, 39, 31. So a couple 30 plus in his last 4. Did that
not too shabby.
Did that last game just go to overtime or something? Because
he had 30 real life points. 1 assist and 5 rebounds. Because
you had Hayward at almost 50, and it's just what happened that game?
But Tatum were out that game.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, lots of reason to be into that. All right. Yeah. I guess sub 6K if you like that recent history 30 plus. Sure. I probably there's a good chance none of this game is in my player pool when I'm done making my cuts. Just saying.
I think one of these Celtics definitely goes for a 50 bomb though in the 7K price range.
Chris Robideau thought 50-50 cash was easy. I hit 320s and missed the 100 players in the 50 player lines. High score on those. I thought 50-50 cash was easy. I hit 320s and missed the 100 players in the 50 player lines. High score on those. Man, I think you missed a word somewhere, Chris, and I can't figure it out. Hunter says, wait, Gunn, Canner versus Vooch is bad for Vooch? No. But the Celtics and Brad Stevens, they still have trap defenses that they can use on Vooch. And Canner, like I said, Canner could be less than 20 minutes. Canner's not a good he's not a defender to run from. At no point am I scared of Cantor for Vooch, but I am just kind of scared of the game. And there's a good chance you see some Tatum on Vooch every now and then, something like that. How much does history matter? It depends on who and well. But more so I think stuff like this, StatMuse, if your research is open up Slate and you're just looking at each player versus team last 10 games, it's kind of like BVP in baseball. It just takes out so much context. Like you mentioned Gordon Hayward. If you just knew that Gordon Hayward dropped 50 against the Magic, you're like, oh, he does good against this team. Well, you said Tatum was out?
Jaylen Brown and Tatum were out.
So 2 of the starters were out to boost. Yeah. So it takes out the context. So you gotta take it with a grain of salt. So I don't know. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. All right, let's move on to the next game. Golden State Warriors at the Brooklyn Nets. Project starting 5 for the Warriors: D'Angelo Russell, Damian Lee, Glenn Robinson III, Draymond Green, Marquise Chris, taking out Spencer Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, Karis LeVert, Taurean Prince, Jared Allen. We got 223 total and a 6.5 point spread in favor of the home team Brooklyn Nets. D-Russ back in Brooklyn, 8,400. Now, before you get too excited, just know that D'Angelo Russell is one of the names being waved out there. Him and Alec Burks really are out there and being shopped around. So, maybe one of these days he gets scratched because he got traded. But if we can ignore that for a second, D'Angelo Russell back in Brooklyn. Big time spot. Click the I'm coming home spot. 8,400. He's right there with Devin Booker. I expect him to, play a little bit more inspired than usual. And this game just kind of thrives as a potential glory. Jesus, I almost said okay. Honeywell for fantasy points. So D'Angelo Russell is the guy I'm curious with. Draymond Green 6,600. I can still have a dab of him. I do think that people sleep on the fact that Taurean Prince is been pretty solid in terms of defending people and holding opposing power forwards to low fantasy outputs. They give up the second fewest fantasy points per game to opposing power forwards, but what they don't do is guard centers well. Brooklyn giving up the most fantasy points per game on this slate to center. So could you trust a shot on Marquise Chris at 53 where you need that 30? On this slate, I probably don't, but I hate not having exposure to a center against the Nets here. But D-Russ for sure. And then past that, maybe some supplementary shares of Burks on FanDuel. And yeah, on the net side, Spencer Dinwiddie's 8K. Golden State, really, really bad on defense. Look at all this red. They give up a high amount of 3% success rate, 38.5%. That's probably the most in basketball, right? If I go to the team stats tab and check out percentage allowed, yeah, Golden State Warriors allow the most or the highest success rate for 3-point shot attempts. So maybe Joe Harris becomes sneaky, but man, 5K is 5K. Karis LeVert might start again here on FanDuel. I think he's a better play than DraftKings. DraftKings is 6K, FanDuel 4,500. LeVert, a guy that could pick up a lot of real scoring and also just do a little bit of everything. He had 7 assists last game against Phoenix, took 20 shot attempts without Kyrie Irving. So I don't mind going back to the well on him, but I'm more so interested as a value play for FanDuel. But this game just could breed a lot of fantasy points. Dinwiddie, Russell being the forefront guys, and then I could have some loose interest in some LeVert, maybe some Marquise Chris, a little bit of Draymond.
Chris is a tournament play that can win you 100K.
Yeah. What you got here?
I mean, D'Angelo Russell, gotta love it. We've seen what he does when he goes back to the Lakers home. Always puts up big games. Back in Brooklyn, pissed off they chose Kyrie over him. Give me some D'Angelo Russell here, 8,400. We've seen him drop 50 bombs. Expect that. Maybe a 60, with a little more vengeance. I like it. Karis LeVert, I understand the FanDuel price is definitely cheaper. But even on DraftKings, I think with no Kyrie Irving, there's a case to be made he's a 65, 7K player. He finally got 30 minutes. Maybe he's fully off the leash now. So you give me 32 minutes against Golden State. Karis LeVert, no Kyrie. I mean, give me healthy Karis LeVert. Still going to like him on DraftKings. You mentioned Marquise Chris. I think he's in the large field GPP, 25, 30 minutes against Brooklyn could get you a big game here. Give me some Marquise Chris. Dinwiddie at 8K, I don't think I'm getting to. Just because a lot of other guards here, he could definitely have a good game. Just you got to cross some people out. He's one of those guys who I cross out.
Yeah,
price toward.
So when you look at that 8K guard range, there's a lot of 40 bombs. Where's our 50 bombs? Is Dinwiddie one of those? And I get being cautious. I think that in the short sample, you can make a correlation or negative correlation between Dinwiddie and LeVert, right? You get what I'm saying? If LeVert swim or flies, does Dinwiddie sink? That's an early limited sample size observation. Golden State.
With LeVert's price, Dinwiddie could have like a 45-point fantasy game, and LeVert could still get you 35 at 5,700 on DK, which is fine.
So, in a 1v1, D-Russ versus Dinwiddie in the same game, you're going D-Russ?
D-Russ all day. I think his usage is higher, I believe. Is it?
I know Dinwiddie so far this season without Kyrie has been sitting around 30%, but a lot of that's also without Karis LeVert in the mix. So, I guess D-Russ is doing a little bit of everything here. Like I said, should play all of the narratives. But looking at that AK guard area, D-Russ, Devin Booker.
D-Russ versus Booker is interesting.
Yeah, might have a lot of both.
Yeah,
by the way, Will Barton is questionable now.
Yeah, I don't even know who. We need a list of players active for them.
Dude, they're gonna have.
That's a 9 o'clock game too.
I think I read that they had 8. It was either them or the T-Wolves had 8 players, including 2-way contracts. So it could get crazy. I just finished the bang.
You didn't get that news with Denver.
Nah, probably
9
not.
o'clock game.
Ernesto says Draymond put in work. Sean in the Twitch chat. Burks over Glenn Robinson.
I don't really touch anybody else other than Draymond.
Yeah, so
other than D'Angelo, Draymond, and maybe some Chris.
Burks is just chilling there. I don't really move the needle on Burks unless there was like a D-Russ is out. That's what happened last slate. Once D-Russ got rolled out, then I started loading up on the Warriors. When D-Russ is in, it's him and Draymond for the most part at the usage scale, and then everyone else is just kind of doing their thing. So, yeah. DeAndre Hunter now probable. All right. Warriors considering waiting till the summer for D'Lo trade, according to local Bay Area radio here. Man, could you imagine D'Lo, Clay, Steph Curry, 3-guard set? That'd be sick. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm the Warriors. Obviously, you get the biggest, whoever's going to offer the most, and I don't know what packages for D'Lo look like right now.
Yeah, could be his last time to show up.
Yeah. Gunn is a top expert, guys. Please hit that like. Hey man. I'm not an expert. I just play one on YouTube. But no, I do. I appreciate that plug there, Hunter. If you guys are on YouTube, man, just real quick, hit that thumbs up. Help me out. Indiana Pacers at the Toronto Raptors. Next game on the docket. Project starting 5 for the Pacers. Malcolm Brogdon, Aaron Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner taking on Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Serge Ibaka. We got a 216.5 total and a 6-point spread in favor of the Toronto Raptors. I perused Reddit this morning, and I saw a statement that I thought could be the most true statement of the league. And it was the Raptors are the scariest team out there for trades. Basically means if the Raptors made one trade for something good to great, they're in it. The Raptors have sneakily won 11 games in a row. They're chilling in second place, and
that's the deepest team in the league.
It's an incredible feat considering that they've been so injured all year, right? Like it just seemed like you haven't had a strong 5-game stretch where everyone is healthy. So for them to do what they're doing, if they made one trade, and it's not even like a specific person out there, but if they made
a star, it doesn't have to be an all-star.
Yeah,
just a key piece.
So yeah, I don't know. I thought that was something I read this morning. I was like, yeah, that is actually pretty fascinating. I don't know what or who they would trade for, but it is pretty incredible to think about what they're accomplishing. They're kind of like the next man up Yankees, man. They just keep on getting it done. Marcus all go down, Ibaka up, Siakam go down, Boucher, Rondae Ellis Jefferson up. Like they're out there getting it done. So tonight they are 6-point favorites against the Indiana Pacers. This is a 216.5 total, and kind of like the Magic and Celtics, it feels a little bit, low pace, grindy defense style game where I don't know that I get to a lot here. And yeah, I don't see. I can't really, at least on DraftKings, I don't really look at one guy's price and be like, yeah, that's probably
Kyle Lowry 6,700
on the Pacers. Yeah, Lowry. Really, the Raptor side, Lowry under 7K, VanVleet under 7K. I can understand that, and I still think Ibaka in the 6K area. Think about the front courts against the Pacers. Indiana Pacers have been kind of like average on this slate, but they're still a good matchup. So if you're gonna give me a 5-6K guy shot at 30 minutes, I'll exploit that. So maybe I'm a little bit more intrigued with the Raptors than I thought I would be going into this game. But I definitely don't have a soft spot for any of these Pacers here. Sabonis on FanDuel, I could still justify, but even then, I don't think the matchup is pure enough for me to go nuts with it. And I forgot to put Oladipo on the bench here. So I think the bulk of my interest in this game is going to be from the Raptors side. Lowry 6,700. I get it. But how many of your lineups are going to be featuring a 6K point guard today? 7K point guard, essentially.
Not a lot. I mean, a lot of lineups seem like you're going to be paying up for centers.
Or the 8K guard range, right? And then you just start punting these value plays. So at 6,700, for him to really shake the foundation of this slate, you're going to need the north side of 40, right? 40 plus is when he becomes an elite tournament play at 6,700.
I'm going to pair him and Ibaka together for 12-8, and you can get in the high end 85, maybe 90 fantasy points in a great game. I mean, that could get you there in tournaments all day, every day.
Yeah. Siakam and Ibaka kind of are the most curious clicks for me here. And I don't even know that like I get to AK for Siakam. But Ibaka just seems like I'm playing him for a solid shot of 30. Any Pacers at all. Any Pacers.
I mean, Sabonis keeps getting it done. He's 9-2. Power forward, sound eligibility, coming off a 59 bomb against Dallas when no one really played him at 9-6.
Yeah.
It's the Raptors. Sometimes two good teams go at it. He dropped 39 on them last time.
I just feel like there's too much risk for me at 92. At 92, I gotta have 50 plus on a 9-game slate.
Yeah, but if he goes for 60, like again, no one's gonna be shocked.
I'd be pretty shocked. I'd be pretty shocked if he dropped 60. Hey, I play Sabonis more than like a lot of people, and I'd be pretty shocked if he dropped 60 today. But yeah. Chat, what do we got? It says, congratulations, you received 100 messages today with Restream Chat. All right, lit. Miles Turner, sneaky, maybe Oladipo, 4,800, playing 28 minutes. Yes, please. You want some of that German? Yeah, I haven't tried. I haven't been playing much Depot here. 4,800. You're talking about from a FanDuel standpoint. If we pull that up, that's a shooting guard. So if you play Oladipo, you sacrifice at least one of Devin Booker, D. Russ, Dinwiddie, Wiggins on a very short rotation. Dylan Brooks is on a heater. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm fine. And I do think he's a stronger FanDuel play anyway, just for the the stocks. But I don't know, man. 15, 12, 30. I don't think I have Depot, but I do think that pretty soon that blow-up spot is coming. I don't know if it's here on the road against the Raptors. What up, DFS Monster? SGA's in a dream matchup. Yeah, we'll get to that one as well. Hunter says Ibaka, DK lock on FanDuel Power Forward. So the thing with Ibaka is he could just be a super solid play, like 30 fantasy point play, and I will take that as a stocking stuffer. But for in terms of tournament ceiling, GPP play upside, how many times is he going to flirt with 40 plus? Usually his big 40 games come in faster paced matchups. But I definitely will have him at least starting as a tier 3 because you have some building blocks. If guys going to give you a solid floor, you take it, right? Anything else for this game? Ernesto says Kyle Lowry's price is interesting. Hunter says, when Gunn did YouTube prior, there were hundreds of viewers, and he'd stop the stream if the likes would not come. Good times. I would hold. I used to hold the stream hostage for 100 likes, but we would have 300 live views in the schedule. It was all crazy. Different times, man. A whole lot of great content out there to saturate the waters a little bit. Next game on the docket. This is the one. This is it. This is the big one. The Atlanta Hawks at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Imagine a week ago. Yep, this is the game. But here we are. Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Damian Jones taking on, Jordan McLaughlin in the arms of an angel. Jarrett Culver, Josh Okogie, Andrew Wiggins, Karl Towns, the Big Cat, Ernie Ladd. Guys, this game is going to be a puzzle to put together. So I'm going to do my best to navigate the waters. If you guys are just tuning in and you didn't hear about this trade, the 4-team trade that involved the Hawks, the T-Wolves, the Rockets, and the Nuggets. And this shook up a lot of stuff overnight. And there's going to be a lot of players that just won't be approved to play, eligible, whether they're waiting on medical physicals to pass and all that good stuff. So I'm going to just start with the depth charts, the injury reports for these two teams specifically, and we'll see if we can't start making a pool of active players that will actually see the basketball court here, and then we'll talk about minute rotation from that. Trae Young, right elbow, right ankle, is available. Kevin Huerter, adductor, is probable. Cam Reddish Jr., concussion, out. DeAndre Hunter, left ankle, is now probable. DeAndre Bembry, right hand neuritis, is out. Nene Hilario, part of the Rockets trade, is not likely to play, obviously. Clint Capella, is probably not going to play. Bruno Fernando is now probable. Now, Fernando is a bit of news there because that will help back up Damian Jones and John Collins here. On the T-Wolves side, I think this is the most short-staffed team. They last night acquired Juancho Hernan-Gomez, Jared Vanderbilt. Don't expect either of those guys to play. They also acquired Alan Crabb, Evan Turner. Don't expect those guys to play. They also acquired Malik Beasley. Don't expect him to play. I don't expect any one part of this trade to play today. Their active players are probably Culver, McLaughlin, Okaji. Jalen Noel, I think, is on a two-way contract, so he's definitely going to get called up. Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, Gorgie Zhang. They might have 4 players. Four bench players.
2 are on two-way contract. I think they have 2 real bench players.
Yeah, I think it's Zhang and.
Zhang starts or Reed starts?
Huh?
Jang starts? I feel like Jang might start at the 4.
I don't know. I really don't know. This is going to be limited bodies out there playing a lot of minutes. So no matter what, let's talk about Karl-Anthony Towns. 10.6K. Good chance he plays 38 minutes here. It's already a pure matchup. He could be the highest scorer on the slate. 60, 70 fantasy points. Not out of the range of possibilities here. So he's probably going to be a guy that I try to jam in the most. By the way, Florida Man 0, appreciate that follow. Welcome to the stream. So Cat's number 1 in this game for me.
Easy number 1. I mean, you can if you want to go 80% Cat today, perfectly fine. Lock and load, prime spot. I mean, I think 30 minutes, 32, 33 is a floor. I mean, this guy might have to play 38, 39, 40.
Yeah.
The bodies.
Yeah. I think a lot of people will end up stacking. Will try to stack this game, but it's the value stacks because if you look at the guys that the top 4 guys that we think would lead in usage and points, Wiggins, Cat versus Young and Collins. That's an expensive four-man stack here, but it.
I wouldn't stack them with. I would do like the Trae Young, Karl-Anthony Towns, and then the value guys. Collins and Wiggins are more tier 3 plays, if that. Wiggins could definitely pop off. Can they pop off together? I feel like it's very rare they both go for 50 plus. Very rare.
So I mentioned that D-Russ was being waved around a lot of teams. The team I heard a lot attached to D'Angelo Russell as a potential suitor was the Timberwolves. But every trade scenario or package that I saw suggested involved Andrew Wiggins. So, not saying Andrew Wiggins getting traded, but keep an eye on that going forward. I guess we should start playing guys blindly. Jarrett Culver, 3,900 in DraftKings. I think you have to play that. It's the Hawks.
He's their de facto point guard. Like, isn't he? I mean, McLaughlin might start there, but I feel like he does more like the ball handling.
Yeah, and I think Culver is a small forward on FanDuel. Yep.
He's small forward eligible, yeah, which is nice.
So Culver would be a core value play. Okaji's a guy that we know could play mid 30s and minutes here. Really, all these guys could play 40 minutes for crying out loud. On the Hawks side.
Like the bigs, though, I think you got to figure out whether Jang or Reed, like one of those guys, I think goes off. Reed is 3K, Jang is 3,200. Maybe DK only plays just because center is too hard to give up on FanDuel. But DK with a util spot, a 3K guy who's going to play 30, 35 minutes. Play small against Atlanta.
I don't know. I obviously I kind of want to lean to the veteran side, but I don't think I'm going to force in Jang or Reed. I think give me Cat. I'll take that center spot. Is Zhang still just center eligible? Yes. So,
he's played power forward a lot in his career. I think he's starting next to Cat and could see 25 plus minutes against the Hawks. At 3,200.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I guess so. This game is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Jeff Teague revenge game, right? He's back in town. But 5K, he's probably not going to crack my lineups. Yeah, I give me Cat for sure. Cat, Culver are probably going to be my 2 highest owned players.
I'm with that.
Then Trae Young. What do we do with Trae Young? He's 10K. We got the 20% rule that's in existence.
20% rule. I'm gonna stick to it. I mean, gotta love. I mean, this game. What's the over in this game?
239.
Yeah, I mean, you got a Trae Young and a 239 total. Not a lot of bodies. This could be a dueling 70 bombs.
Bro, I just want to say that my algorithm, the mathematical equation that I've used for the spreadsheet for my projections, is usually super conservative, bro. What I mean by that, like, it'll never project like a Luka to get you 70. It's usually, all the studs are usually sitting at the 50 area, bro. Okay. My conservative projection math equation has Cat for 60 fantasy points, bro. That never happens in my. That's just freaking insane. So yeah, I don't know. That just blows my mind. But Collins is another guy that I think at 40, 50 fantasy point potential is there. And we may not have a whole lot of slates left where we can play Collins confidently at 8-6 with Clint Capella on the horizon. Kevin Huerter is another guy I'm curious with. He is expected to play. He's 5,900. Could play 36, 38 minutes here in this matchup with this total, with this pace. Everyone's a play. This guy, if he's going to play 40 minutes, chuck 20 shots, he's in the pool. It's basically what he did against Boston. Boston, a tougher matchup here. So high-minute guy, minutes equal opportunity, opportunity equal fantasy points, and fantasy points equal money. So give me Huerter, give me Collins. And then I don't have to deal with the front court here. Fernando's active, so I probably don't dab too much with Jones or Fernando. Trae Young obviously will be probably min at 20%. And then Wiggins, I think, is the wild card, right?
The wild card. He's going to go for like 50 or 30 today.
That's Andrew Wiggins basketball. Last couple games, 26, 23, 63. So there you have it. Sacramento slow-paced game. Clippers stronger defense. Yeah, I don't know.
Hawks.
But here's a question, or maybe not a question, but a thought. If you're the Timberwolves, the Timberwolves have not won a game this decade. Do they win this game against the Atlanta Hawks at home?
It's gonna be a battle,
dude. It's pretty incredible. That it's like 20 something games with Cat. Look at all these L's. L. They haven't won a game since they haven't won a game with Karl-Anthony Towns since December. And they've only won a couple games this season in the first week of January. So maybe some Minnesota fans are going to be taking some solace in the fact that this is a winnable game, but of course you trade half the team the night before and you trade your best defender the night before. Chat, what are you guys doing with this game? I think we've all spent some time digging into this one, trying to come away with some plays. Josh Jennings says Teague for sure. Hunter says there's not a lot of, quote, great content. Hey, man, okay. I love everyone. I love everyone that has a passion for sports and has decided to make content. I root for them. Cyber Soldier, what up, buddy? Cat dropping a 70 bomb. I'm with that. Minnesota values like shopping at the penny candy store. Yeah, so like you want to stay away from the 20s, the 24. You know those guys. You want the 30, the 35s. And I think Culver can be that guy. My conservative projections put him at 29. So I'll take that all day long, all day strong. Chalky McChalkenstein, love that name. Culver, Naz, and Okaji and Cat stack for me. Yep, you see a lot of 4-man T-Wolves lineups tonight.
3-man is probably more optimal. 4 is be tough for everyone to kind of go off.
Yo, B-Train, appreciate that follow. Call me crazy, but the T-Wolves are on my 3-leg parlay tonight. A lot of money on them winning. I mean, I don't think it's crazy, but yeah, they are really short-staffed. And they're shorter staffed than the Hawks. I'll say that. What else we got? Matt Runyon, Young, Wiggins, and Cat, all for me. So just out of curiosity, if I wanted the top 4 guys in usage here, if I put Cat, Trae Young, Wiggins, and Collins.
Ain't pretty.
That gives me 33.25 per. No, but he didn't mention Collins. So if I had just those 3, 43.80, do we have enough to make that happen? Obviously, we have Culver. Yeah, I mean you're reaching down in the bottom of the bargain bin. You ever go to Walmart and there's the $5 DVD pile? You're reaching down there for one of those old westerns to make a movie night. Culver and Martin. We like Keelan Martin. I'm with that. Just minutes, man. You know, minutes are there. Keelan Martin, and it's the Hawks. Bro, I would play chat. I'd pick 5 of you guys, make a team, and go play the Hawks for some fantasy points. So I'm with that. There's so much cheap value tonight. Yep. Sorry, FanDuel. Oh, FanDuel for. Oh yeah. FanDuel, you can make just about anything happen. So I'm with that. My bad. I'm misinterpreting that. What up, Bacon? Cat, Collins, Trey stack, very plausible on FanDuel. I agree. FanDuel, you can pretty much play wherever you want every slate. So, and I'm not even hating because it's been super, super nice to me. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game. I think you guys get the gist of this game. This game's going to be pretty epic for fantasy. Cavs at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Next game on the docket. Projects 35 for the Cavaliers. Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Jetty Osman, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson taking on Chris Paul, SGA, Luke Wentz, Dort, Danilo, Gallinari, Stone Cold, Steven Adams. He's going to get one board. What? 221 total, a 13-point spread in favor of the home team, Oklahoma City Thunder. Tristan Thompson, I misspoke. I'm sorry. He's been ruled out, right? He's doubtful. He's out. So Larry Nance is going to start. I have Larry Nance at 38 minutes. Thoughts?
Larry Nance 38.
This is down. Thompson's down. So it's basically him, John Henson. I mean, what did Nance get last game? Right? It's the same scenario.
Overtime 40. Yeah, I guess.
42 minutes against the Knicks. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't really get too crazy from that. But it's projected blowout here, a double-digit spread, so it makes you a little bit scary at like an AK Kevin Love, who just had an incredible game. Colin Sexton's not a great matchup either. What we do like is we like guards against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They just have Elfrid Payton was so good. But Chris Paul is 7,500. Looking for the north side of 40 fantasy points. Same song and dance with SGA and Dennis Schroeder, who's 6,700. Same price as Kyle Lowry, right? Index
all day, every day, not even close.
Well, when we go refer to that RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet, the Cavaliers allow the most fantasy points per game to opposing point guards, the second most fantasy points per game to opposing shooting guards, and they're right up there against the small forwards as well, giving up the second most fantasy points to small forwards. So I'm not going to play Luke Wentz Dort, but it does seem like one of the Thunder guards is going to be a viable option tonight, potentially two, but probably one. And if you paint a picture of a potential blowout, maybe a lopsided game, maybe Chris Paul kind of, if you can conserve his minutes. So what do we do with that information? How much is too much OKC Thunder guards? I'm not super stoked at the price points for all of them. So what I probably would do is kind of like latch onto the guy I think plays the most minutes out of all the guards, and I think that's SGA. So maybe SGA at 7,200. 45 is what I would love in tournaments. How many times do we achieve 45? Just hypothetically, or
SGA?
Yeah, SGA.
Man, I mean, I think I like Chris Paul and Schroeder more than him.
Why?
I want to say I do play the point guard against Cleveland. I mean, Chris Paul does just have the ball more in his hands. So 7,500, I liked it.
So the thought process behind SGA for me is, and it's dangerous to project blowouts, right? But it's a double-digit spread. OKC at home. If OKC's up 20 in the third quarter, Chris Paul, I can still see SGA in the mix, and I can see them icing Chris Paul.
Yeah, Schroeder and SGA.
So I still think SGA leads. I think he'll lead the team in minutes today, which is why if I'm gonna play any guard, it'd be him. I can also I don't see myself tier 1 or 2ing him either. It's just such a pure matchup. Like guards against the Cavs just always come through. But yeah, on Gallinari's also in the 6K area if we're looking for a shot at 30 plus fantasy points, and then Steven Adams is dangerous down there. So
you got against Larry Nance and Kevin Love, 5,600. Centeroli. Do I really want to give up a Centeroli to Steven Adams when you have Cat?
Nah, I probably don't.
Yeah, there's just no way. But I mean, Kevin Love and Larry Nance, both power forward eligible on DraftKings, are very interesting. I mean, we saw what Kevin Love can do. I think no Tristan Thompson is definitely a big correlation there. Don't expect a 60 bomb, but again, high 40s at 8K.
I mean, he could. Again, I'm worried about the spread.
I mean, I'm worried about spread too. But if this game stays close, Kevin Love probably has 30 and 10.
I think that's a solid correlation if you expect it to stay close, and then if you start dabbling with some Love, maybe you start playing some Paul. But Larry Nance is a guy I think I just fall into just because of the minutes here. Love at 8K. I mean, that's DeAndre Ayton. That's John Collins area. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I like Kevin Love more than John Collins.
You really?
I like Kevin Love definitely more than John Collins. John Collins, I don't play a ton of whenever.
Are you? Bro, I could not disagree more with that statement, dog. That's actually an insane statement to me. You're telling me John Collins, who's been giving you 40 fantasy points, look at the last four. Shut up. Look at the last four. Toronto, Philly, Dallas, Boston, all those tough defenses. Now you put this guy in two teams that have no players and a 239 total against the freaking Timberwolves, and you think the guy who's a 13-point road dog is the better play? Like, the floor on Collins is nuts, and the matchups have been so tough. There's no way. You're out of your mind.
Ceiling higher?
Maybe, but that's not the floor is way higher for Collins in my opinion. And then if he walked away with 50, 60 fantasy points because of this total, because of this pace, because of the matchup, I'm not shocked. I just there's no way you could just dismiss John Collins that fast for Kevin Love. And I'm not hating on Love, but my goodness, the disrespect on what John Collins has been doing for fantasy in those matchups versus what he could do today. Let's not forget about Le Baptiste.
Hear you.
Anyway,
I guess Larry Nance 6,500. The power forward eligibility just makes it nice on DraftKings. You can pair him up with those lead centers. Could get you 40 at 6,500. But, I mean, Schroeder's been doing a lot better than I thought. God damn.
Yeah, no, so like, when the games start to close out, they run 3-guard sets, and then you'll see Paul, SGA, and Schroeder on the court together. Schroeder's kind of the closer, man. You call Mariano out the pen. You call Schroeder out the pen. He comes in there. But yeah, 66, 67 for Schroeder. Definitely a shot where I can get 35 plus fantasy points and take advantage of this matchup. So there's a lot of very valuable plays here, but they all come with an asterisk just because there's some inherited risk of targeting a 13-point spread. Yeah, chat. What do we got on this one? Josh Jennings says Schroeder's been on a serious heater. Totally agree. Will Cook, Schroeder, SGA, then Paul. Piston says I got Trey, Cat, Collins, and D'Lo in a lineup on FanDuel. That sounds sexy. SGA has been a peripheral guy the last few. Schroeder is scoring more. Yeah, I don't think it's mutually. I think maybe 2 or 3 is. Obviously, I don't expect 3 or 3 to hit, but I think 2 or 3 wouldn't be a crazy scenario. Ernesto says, I can't believe I agree with Raj. I like Schroeder too. LOL. Smiley face. Chalky McChalkenstein. I got 3.5K left on DraftKings and already playing Culver and Craig in that price range. Who's the best tournament play at 3.5K utility? Interesting. All right, so let's go click that util spot. Let's go to 3.5K or less. Fernando is playing.
I want to say with the Denver news, maybe a guy like Torrey Craig.
Well, he's already said Craig. Open your oídos. Langston Galloway might get 30 minutes, so maybe him.
Ash Jones?
Langston Galloway. Or
Jones is seeing 20 minutes
or
every game.
McLaughlin. You said Tyus Jones, the Memphis?
Chris Jones, seeing 20 minutes every game. He has Dallas.
Langston Galloway could play 30-plus minutes today. That's my answer. Moving on. How's the camp been doing, man? Yo, what up, Mike? It's been tough on FanDuel. Yo, FanDuel's been so nice to me. So nice to me. Will Cook says Nance over Love due to pricing. I can get down with that. Nance can match Love's 40 fantasy points with high minutes. Yeah, I like the minutes potentially for Larry Nance, right? Romy says Galloway or Kelly Olynyk if he gets minutes. Yep. All right, let's matriculate on to the next game. Memphis Grizzlies at the Dallas Mavericks. Project starting 5 for the Grizzlies. Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, Jay Crowder, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jonas Valanciunas taking on Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, and Kristaps Porzingis. We got a 226.5 total for this one, and a 5-point spread in favor of the home team. Dallas Mavericks. So the Mavericks have been dealing with injuries on Luka Doncic, and JJ Barea and Seth Curry also got injured here. So this guard situation gets a little bit clearer as we always had like JJ Barea there to kind of like vulture upside and opportunity. But we'll start with the obvious play. Kristaps Porzingis. I said it on the last stream. Until this guy shows me that he's not going to score 50 without Luka Doncic, I'm playing him. 8,300, way too cheap. Just way too cheap. Like, he has to be a tier 1 until further notice. Just no doubt about it.
You want to start every lineup with, like, Cat, Porzingis, and, like, Culver. All the power to you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Porzingis is just I don't say can't miss, but my goodness, man, it is so.
I mean, this is Memphis. I mean, he's had Indiana's a tougher matchup. Dropped 59. Houston's definitely easier. Phoenix, bit of a down. 20 minutes doesn't count. I mean, it's a spot with no Luka. He's looking like the New York Porzingis, you know.
It's the price, man. Like I might pay $9K today for Porzingis, and I feel like I got almost $1,000 discount on a slate where I just still have value. So Porzingis tier 1.
Like now he's healthier. Like early in the season, you could tell he's still working his way back from injury. I think now he's kind of fully unleashed, looking fully healthy.
Yeah, no, he has dropped 50 fantasy points or more in all but one game without Luka Doncic so far this season. And in that one game, he dropped 44.5. I would take 44.5 today. So like I said, until he shows me he won't, then I will, and he will, and we'll just go get this Porzingis Bucks. Tim Hardaway Jr., wide range of outcomes for him. We've kind of seen the best and worst out of him. So I think he's one of those big field tournament type of plays. You can see 38, you can see 10, you can see 25. That's literally the range of outcomes for Tim Hardaway Jr. right there. But you take that 38 every now and then. It is the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies going to become a fast-paced matchup, a porous defense. So some of these guys can come through, especially if the minutes will be there if guys like Curry and Barea go down. Let me go pull up the injury report for the Dallas Mavericks, maybe get a better read on what we're dealing with. Obviously, we know Luka's out, but JJ Barea sprained left ankle, questionable. He sprained his ankle on Monday, so it wouldn't be shocking to see him skip Wednesday's game, but we'll have a better idea closer to game time. Seth Curry, knee, also questionable. He missed Monday's game. So we'll see if he's able to go. So without those two, then that guard situation gets a little bit clearer, and you would assume that Jalen Brunson's at the top, and then guys like DeLon Wright, Tim Hardaway Jr. also thrive. Dorian Finney-Smith, kind of a little bit of an unsung hero here for Mavs fans during this stretch. He's 6.1K. I don't know if my heart can allow this to happen.
Pretty strong floor.
The peripherals have been there, absolutely. But yeah, 38, 44 fantasy points in his last 2 games, and then 29 if you want to throw in that game. So, man, 6.1K, that's, I don't think I ever would have, if you asked me before the season started, hey, Gomes, you ever pay 6K for Dorian Finney-Smith? I would have laughed at you, walked away, insert Harden gif. But yeah, I guess he's viable.
Yeah.
Does he though? Because
Memphis, pace up, man.
Think about, first of all, on any site. You think about FanDuel. Dorian Finney-Smith is a small forward. He's also a forward on DraftKings. You automatically have one of your forward spots taken with Culver, right? So you're not going to get a whole lot of 6K Dorian Finney-Smith no matter what. Even 56 on FanDuel. So I just think he is a play. Yes, viability is there. But are we really playing Dorian Finney-Smith? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we really get there?
I think I'm gonna have some. He's showing. I feel like 30 might be his floor here. Pace up matchup could push for 40. And I mean, yeah, it's still the other kind of small forward spots, power forward. He can fit in there nicely on DraftKings. You're gonna pay up for the centers, go low end on guard with Reggie Jackson. You can fit in a 6K Dorian Finney-Smith here. I think in tournaments will be great because he's gonna be pretty low owned and there's definitely upside there. Tim Hardaway Jr. is another guy who I think has definite tournament upside.
Yeah.
See how shooting guards against Memphis. Look that up quick. Oh, they're bottom 10. Okay, I mean, shooting guards against Memphis, bottom 10. Tim Hardaway Jr. After Porzingis, he's their second guy. He's going to chuck shots. He can put up 35, 40 here. Wouldn't be shocked.
On the Memphis side, Jonas Valanciunas, stretch of good games. Now, you talk about getting lost in the cracks. 7,500 for J-Val. Center only. He's gotten you 59, 38, 37, 48. At 7.5, I'm looking for a north side of 40 fantasy points. We talked about how stacked center is. Like I said, Karl-Anthony Towns is a priority. And then we got Jokic. Drummond's in a spot. We got Ayton in a spot. We got Porzingis in a spot from a FanDuel, or excuse me, from a DraftKings dual position eligibility. I just take a risk here on fading J-Val. J-Val has 50, 60 at the end of the night, then so be it. Jaren Jackson Jr., 6,300. Could he, eclipse 40 fantasy points? Definitely arrange the outcome that he can. For the most part, this Grizzlies rotation is pretty deep. I have 10 guys with double-digit minute projections. And then I wouldn't be shocked if we get 11 guys that play double-digit minutes. I do have at least a tag on J-Val. I'll open that up and get to the bottom of that. Memphis, Jonas Valanciunas is listed as probable. He was a full participant in shoot-around, so he should be good to go. I see somebody in chat said, why is Ja Morant's minutes gone back down to 27, 28? That's kind of the what he was doing before he missed a couple games, and I think a lot of that has to do with, one, the consistency and success in Dillon Brooks, and then of course they have backup point guards and Tyus Jones, DeAnthony Melton, so it's just a lot of people there to feed. So Morant's never been a guy that I go after. I probably played him less than 5 times all season, and I don't see myself playing him here today. I will say Dillon Brooks, though. You guys, I feel like I'm becoming a Dillon Brooks agent here. My man is out here being super, super consistent. 29 fantasy points with just 15 real points. Usually the caveat to him getting 30 fantasy points involves 20 plus real points. But last game he did just enough of everything to get you there. The shot volume is there for him. 15, 14, 17, 19 shot attempts. And like I said, him getting 20 plus real points is a very realistic range of outcomes. And with this current Mavs set up here, I don't mind like shooting guard, small forward. We know small forwards have actually been a plus spot against the Mavs all year. So maybe a little bit of Jay Crowder revenge could sneak in there. But for the most part, I'm probably going to be pretty light on Memphis exposure. Maybe a tier 3 dab of Dillon Brooks. And I think my center spots, I think I'm going to have to be really, really aggressive and tight with the center core. And I'm just going to not have J-Val. But all the Porzingis and little dabs of Hardaway, Brunson. What are you guys doing in chat? Ernesto says Sabonis or Porzingis. That is Porzingis snap call. Like, I'm not even hesitating. All in on Porzingis. Josh Jennings says he's taking so many threes around 10 to 14. Who are we talking about? Josh Jennings, Porzingis. He's taking so many threes around 10 to 14 three-point attempts. I don't know who we're talking about. Brunson and Zinger. You like Brunson? Okay. Shouts to you on Miami moneyline call yesterday. I told you, man. Sixers on the road after the Miami Super Bowl hangover. Came through. I bet J-Val plays less minutes since Dallas will play small. I can see that. Teague's at 70%. You have 70% Teague, or is that his ownership projection?
Why? There's no way. Why?
That's rough.
No need for that high.
I wouldn't be at 70%. I don't even know if I'll have Jeff Teague, if we're being honest.
Reggie Jackson greater than Jeff Teague right now.
Why is Culver better than Okaji? By the way, Sexton first. Okay. I mean, if you thought Okaji was better than Culver, like, I'm not going to argue that. I probably have a lot of both. I just think Culver's super cheap, and then I got high minute projection for him. But all those guys are deep minutes. I wouldn't really waste time running, who's a better play. They're both probably going to get 35 minutes today as a floor, and it's the Atlanta Hawks, so they could just both hit. Like, it could be splitting hairs for no reason, right? I think the core for me is Reggie Jackson, Zingas, and Towns, according to B-Train. I can see that. I'm definitely Towns and Zingas. Like, those are tier ones for me without a doubt. Reggie Jackson, you guys are higher on Reggie than I am, but I get the play. You're definitely, yeah. Porzingis versus Collins. Again, Porzingis in a 1v1 against anyone not named Cat. The answer for me is Porzingis.
Well, don't disrespect Jokic with no bodies there. People are going to sleep on Jokic, Cat, Porzingis. If you could get those three in.
I'm not going to say I'll easily fade Jokic, but Jokic, I easily play Porzingis and Cat over Jokic. That's not even a question to me, but let's talk about that. Next game on the docket, Nuggets at the Utah Jazz. Project starting 5 for the Nuggets, Jamal Murray. Gary Harris, Will Barton maybe did get rolled or downgraded to questionable. Torrey Craig, Nikola Jokic taking on Mike Conley. Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Bojan Bogdanovic, Rudy Gobert. We got a 215 total and 9-point spread in favor of the Utah Jazz. So, how do we spin this? Well, you just mentioned Nikola Jokic, and here's why Jokic is easily the third option out of those three. First of all, this is going to be their third game in 4 nights. They're going to be on a back-to-back going from Denver to Utah. Now, it's kind of the altitude thing isn't as much of an impact here. Utah does have high altitude as well. But this team seems like they're going to be a little bit burned out tonight. They're already a 9-point dog on the road. Jokic just played Utah. He did drop 54. So there is some recency success here.
Coming off of 82, 69 fantasy points.
At 10K on this slate, you're probably going to need that 55, 60. For me, he's easily the third option out of those three guys that you mentioned. Yes, these Nuggets players are going to have super deep minute opportunities.
Big. They have no power forward. They need the size. Gobert's out there. I think Jokic could be. I think he's the second. He's the second highest player with the likelihood of having the most points tonight. Towns 1, Jokic 2.
As a standalone statement, I don't disagree. All I can say is thank goodness FanDuel doesn't make me get I'll just play Cat. I don't care. If Jokic obliterates Cat, oh well. in that scenario. But yeah, a lot of minutes for guys like Torrey Craig, who's going to have elevated ownership. Looking at the chat, Rick Carroll says, how slow does Denver play tonight? That's a great state. First of all, Utah is already a team that I don't expect to be a shootout. If I was the Jazz, I would want to run as fast as possible tonight. That's what I would say. You get the ball, run the ball up the court. Make the Nuggets run sprints so the second half that they're heaving for air, and then you put them down. If I'm the Nuggets, if I'm Mike Malone, guys, we want 20 seconds each possession, at least, and then you try to milk it as much as possible because this is code red, man. This is a very, very, very short-staffed Nuggets team, and if Will Barton's unable to go, think about I had Will Barton down for 37 minutes. If that's not there, holy cow, this is wild. But with that said, people are on Mike Conley.
Yep.
I'm not. I'm just not. 5,100 for Mike Conley. Huh? I don't get. Dude, I faded Mike Conley into 3Ks, dog. I think 5,100 is gonna get me out of bed to play Mike Conley just because he had.
I think he saw 30 minutes for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, sure. I'd rather. Not that it's the same price, but if Barton's out, Jamal Murray might play 40 minutes at 5,900. I'd probably take that over Conley if I could find that $800, right? And same with Gary Harris. Gary Harris could play the whole game at 4K. So there are some potential value here. And this is going to make some really, really studs and scrubsy lineups. I could certainly see a lot of Jokic, Cat, and Porzingis lineups, right? So just add a experiment here. Let's put Cat, let's put Jokic in the lineup, and then let's put Kristaps Porzingis in. That's going to give us 42 per. And let's just play all the bums, right? Torrey Craig, Culver, heck, even Okaji, right? He's 4K. And then that's going to move us back to the 5K area. So it's definitely very viable to go get those three guys that you mentioned, Porzingis, Cat, Jokic. I don't know why. I'm just not as confident in Jokic here. It just feels like an ultimate letdown spot, 3 and 4 back to back. But the minutes are there. Like they're his. We might see, how in basketball, I think you have to have 8. I think you have to have 8 active, but you might see somebody foul out and not be able to leave the game. and when that happens, they keep getting extra tech, right? So you might see somebody with 6-7 fouls in the game in the fourth quarter tonight. It might get that crazy. That's how short the Nuggets appear to be tonight. With that said, do we play any Jazz players here? Donovan Mitchell seems like he's in a spot to fall through the cracks. Rudy Gobert's 8,100. We talked about how much we like the other centers here. Other than the Nuggets, are you touching the Jazz? I'm not that high on Conley. I could see myself.
I'm not that high on Mike Conley. I get it. If he plays 30 minutes at that price, I get it. But if people are going to be that high on him, I'll be a lot lower on him. Hey, maybe a full fade. Denver, I love Jokic at 9,700. I mean, I get it. The third game in 4 nights is worrisome. It's just they have no bigs at all. Like all these power forwards. Jeremy Grant gets ruled out. He's questionable right now. It just seems like Jokic is going to have to play a ton of minutes.
Yeah.
You give this guy 40 minutes. How does he ever get you less than like 55 and 40, 30, 38 minutes? I just don't see it. We've seen bigs roast Rudy Gobert.
I agree with that statement. I need to... Man, I need to see like if there's any surprise. Let me go pull up this full Nuggets depth chart here because... You just feel like there's got to be something they do here, right? I got Jesus H, bro. There's nothing. Like I don't have Vonleh. This is none of those guys from last night's trade can play, right? Like, it's like Vonleh. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. Like this is bad. Isn't the rule you gotta have 8 act? I thought you had to have 8 active.
I don't even know if there's a rule.
I thought it was 8. So this might be one of those spots we've seen this before, where one of these questionable guys like a Will Barton, and that's just an example. Just as an example, one of these questionable guys for the Nuggets or these out guys will probably just be active and suited up and not play just to not break the rules. What do you do with this Will Barton news now? Knowing he's questionable at lock, because the caveat here,
injury.
If he's able to play with all those guys out, 37 minutes is a range, like a range of outcomes. He played 36 against Utah last time. It just seems like that's a lot of opportunity in minutes.
It's second last game too. If he gets ruled out, who do you pivot to?
Man, 6Ks forward. If you had him in a forward spot,
gonna pivot to. Hey, Philly Smith. That game's half an hour earlier, so if you get the news.
Larry Nance Larry Nance is at 7, and this game's at 8.
That's an hour before.
So maybe if you got lucky, I don't know. I'd probably have Nance over him anyway, but yeah, I don't know. It just seems like there's a possibility for 40 minutes, and he could be single digit owned just because of the Q tag on him. Man, this slate, man, it's kind of wild, dude. Making you think about certain stuff.
It's wild.
Chat, what do you guys got on this one? B-Train says, like your boy said, ownership on Conley's crazy. If I lose because Conley's chalk and he pops off, I lose, bro. I don't need that in my life. Ayton over Jokic says Chadwick. Ayton over Jokic. I love Ayton. Does Jamal Murray play the first game?
Jokic may be the only guy with 80-point upside on this. I mean, not the only guys, a couple guys, but Jokic, his upside's massive if they have no bodies.
Josh says, Does Jamal Murray play normal minutes after first game back last night? Scott Lawson says Jamal Murray
20
minutes
back
top.
20 minutes.
Yeah, I get that. 20 minutes top. So if you think that 20 minutes is the ceiling for Jamal Murray with 8 guys in the rotation, you should probably take longer looks at Monte Morris and PJ Dozier.
Jokic.
Kleba tonight for Armstrong. I'm probably not there on Kleba, Joe, just because my power forward center spots are so saturated with Porzingis and Cat, whatever. Yeah, look at this campaign for the like. Where are we at on likes on YouTube? YouTube, we're at 120 viewers, 36 likes. Come on, bro. Everyone stop what you're doing. Go hit that thumbs up. Show some love. Hit the like button. I don't even know what it does. Just hit it, bro.
Like button for your chance to win some clean donuts.
Okay, buddy. Mike Conley, 4,300 on FanDuel with 40-plus point upside. Bro, Hunter, stop. I'll eat a hat live on TV tomorrow if freaking Conley has 40 fantasy points, bro. Maybe I should have said that, but no. I'll cut up a hat. I have to saute it overnight. Ayton is the best point per dollar setter. I like Ayton a lot. I'm cautious on Conley. Guys, Conley is not. It's not. It's just not. Jokic does not have massive upside on a third game of 4 nights. He does have massive upside in a vacuum, right? In that sentence. The 3rd and 4 at Utah.
Okay, hold up. So he had another 3rd and 4 nights. Minnesota, Houston, New Orleans. Elite matchups. In that 3rd game, he dropped 63. It was New Orleans, though.
Yeah, matchup was way softer.
I'm just saying, he played 35 minutes.
The minutes is what is basically what it comes down to. My man's gonna have a red face in the 4th quarter, huffing and puffing, but suck it up, Buttercup. You gotta be out there and playing. Anyway, we got 1 game left on the docket. Take a pause for the cause, and I'll let you guys know that after this stream, I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. We'll be hosting a voice chat right up until lock. I'm scared. I see a freaking. The thing. Anyway, we'll have a voice chat right before lock. You jump into the Discord, hit NBA voice chat. We'll be chatting up all the news, talking some plays as more news breaks, more news develops. I'm making lineups. I'll be making my personal player pool for DraftKings and FanDuel, listing my tier 1s, all that good stuff. We have projections updated. You guys can get access to the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet and just be part of the conversation, man. You guys can listen in if you're shy and you just want to listen, or you can grab a mic, jump into the chat, and make some new friends. We'd love to have you. The way you can do that is go to RunDFS.com, get yourself an account, and set up a week pass, 2-week pass. The month pass will be back after the All-Star break, but we also have the All-Star to All-Star break package up there. That's going to get you locked in until the baseball All-Star break in July. And that's daily, 24/7 Discord access, 24/7 spreadsheet access, and then of course the coverage for all those sports that I lead, which is NBA, baseball. Smeezy is our crew chief. He'll be spearheading the NASCAR operation. Daytona 500 is coming back. NASCAR is on both FanDuel and DraftKings. And like I said, as a group effort, we're going to try to tackle XFL as well. So lots of cool stuff. If you guys want to support the stream, support the cause, and get something in return, man, go get you one of them VIP subscriptions at RunDFS.com. And we'll have some fun. Main event tonight, the Miami Heat at the Los Angeles Clippers. Projects 35 for the Heat. Kendrick Nunn, Jimmy G, Buckets, Duncan Robinson, Derek Jones, Bam Adebayo taking on Patrick Beverly, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Mo. How could you be so heartless? Ivica Zubac, Tyler Hero out. He was spotted in a walking boot. Myers Leonard inactive, Winslow inactive. We could see a Linux start. Derek Jones is just kind of a name I pulled from RotoWire. You can see a Linux, you can see James Johnson, guys like that. So please don't kill me if Derek Jones isn't the starter tonight. But it's a 224 total. The Clippers not favored by a whole lot here. just 6.5, which makes guys like Jimmy Butler, right, 8,500 out there in the Staples Center, just lurking. Could he have, one of those massive 50-point games? It's a tough matchup, but just the thought of that being low owned is a little bit intriguing. And then Bam Adebayo, he's been showing some triple-double potential. He has a pair of them on the season, and we've seen centers have some good games against the Clippers. One thing that I've been seeing with the Clippers news lately is they are actively shopping Montrezl Harrell. That one is something I didn't expect. I thought this Clippers team was playoff ready as is. So I'm curious to see what they're looking for Harrell and what they get for Harrell if they do make a move. Because I thought Lou Will Montrez is, I thought they were like the best bench tandem in basketball, to be honest. So I'm just kind of surprised that they are shopping them. But Paul George, 8K, Kawhi Leonard, almost 10K. Those guys, 50-point threats, fantasy point threats. So there's a couple of interesting tournament plays here. I can't really see anyone in this game getting north of 10% own, but just because of who's involved, there's some viability. I don't have anything here that I could see listing as a tier 2 or higher. Maybe on FanDuel, Lou Will at 55 is just a little too cheap. And you feel compelled to maybe dig into No Myers Leonard. Would you take a shot on Kelly Olynyk? He's really cheap, 3,400. Is he right there with those T-Wolves potential value? Maybe, right? What's the worst that Kelly Olynyk can get us?
Yeah.
He's center only? That's a yikes.
Okay, see, that's just the problem today. I mean, even the Timberwolves big, Jang, Reed, a lot of center only guys. And again, I actually think you need to take a shot at these center only value guys when you have so many studs at that position.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I center.
I do think though, Minnesota, either Reed or Jang goes for 30. But Leonard, I could fully fade this game. There's so much juice in the slate.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers, definitely an elite defensive team with everyone healthy. Miami, a good team, good defensive team. Could Jimmy Butler go for 50? Sure. But if Russell goes for 50 at that same price, I think they can both kind of, cancel each other out.
Agree.
Yeah,
and then I definitely don't want to be invested in 9,800 Kawhi. There's nothing to swap to when he doesn't come out for warm-ups like he did the other night.
Nah.
I'm with you. I probably don't have anything here. I could see Lou Will in the pool, and if he fell, he fell. He's a little cheap on both sides. He gets a little hot from downtown or something like that, but nothing.
Leonard dropped 34 in 22 minutes last time against Clippers. That's annoying.
Centers against the Clippers have been happening.
What if you do? What if you put Kelly Olynyk in a center only, and you put Cat, and you just play it? You can be different in tournaments and play these AK guards.
I cannot give up that real estate, man. That's some lucrative property. The center spot tonight. I can't. I just can't. I can't.
I feel like in my chase for the 100K, I might need to just not have Cat in some.
I think it's Jokic. I haven't seen ownership projections, but for me, it's Jokic. I can see Jokic just completely burned out. And
I hear you.
That's just me. It's just me. There's you, and then there's just me. Chat. That's the slate, man. Let's see if you guys got any lasting comments, questions, concerns, anything like that. Throw them at me, at us. While you guys do that, what is tomorrow's schedule looking like so we can see how much sleep I'm gonna get? Tomorrow's slate is a 5-game slate, so I can definitely push the stream back to 4 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow is a late lock as well, so yeah, no chance that I'm streaming at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Magic at the Knicks, Sixers at the Bucks, Pelicans at the Bulls, Spurs at the Blazers, Rockets at the Lakers. There's some good games here, right? Every one of these games, probably single-digit spread. 76ers at the Bucks. Oh, man. You guys, if you guys remember my Christmas show, remember the Giannis and Embiid, man. A lot of people slept on that on Christmas, and it was huge. So we'll go right back to that tomorrow. Anyway, so I would expect to stream tomorrow around either 4 p.m. Eastern or 4:30 Eastern. It's gonna be one of those two, but it won't be 3. So I get a little extra playtime. What do you guys got? I'll take a cheap play from this game. I like Duncan Robinson. Hopefully the other 7 guys. Yo, did I read that Duncan Robinson's going to be in the 3-point contest? I think that's what I read. Romy says Ibaka and Drummond, my two favorite centers in that order. Ibaka and Drummond. Ooh, you're going right past the Cat. I respect it. Drummond, Jokic, or Porzingis? Porzingis won for me. Just points.
Until he fails, just keep on playing him.
Exactly. Points per dollar. I just don't know how he misses, man. It's coming eventually, right? But, jeez.
There's going to be the game where, like, Hardaway goes for 50. And Porzingis maybe gets you, like, a 38.
Yeah. Hunter says, fade PG here. What, Rod? What? Raj fading Paul George? What? It's a 50 bomb. Give me some of that. Ibsen says, any tier 5's gun? Yeah, I don't know about that. Yo, tier 3. So tier 3s are, how do I explain it? Sometimes guys in my tier 3, I end up just not having just because my optimizer doesn't give it to me. So I guess you could consider those guys tier 5s. But yeah. Please talk Canner minutes. Lots of talk on Canner. So if you can get me to, and again, giving up that center spot that's prime real estate. If you can get me to 24 minutes of Canner today against the Magic, he is a matchup-proof guy that likely gets you 30-plus fantasy points. I'd be a buyer. The problem is there's not a site where I could play him and feel happy about not having Cat or Drummond or any FanDuel.
Yeah, say in FanDuel, if you're gonna have Cat and Ayton in probably 90% of your lineups.
Well, Ayton. So on FanDuel, Ayton's a center.
Cat's a center, right?
Yeah, Cat's a center.
So you only play one. Yeah, so say you'll have 50% Cat, 30% Ayton, or 40% Ayton, right? Something like that.
Yeah, and I still feel compelled to have some exposure to Jokic, but my decision on that is going to be contingent on the ownership projections, right? If Jokic is projected for 30% or 40%, which I don't think he is, I'm just saying as an example, well then I'm probably just going to be off. But if Jokic is projected for 10%, I'm compelled to match or maybe slightly beat the field in that regard. So I will be waiting on that. But Cat's not the most expensive center, so there's that. I'll be playing Cat, and then Drummond's right there as well. So I just don't think I get to Canner, and Canner's my boy. But on either side, just giving up a center spot is tough, but more so on FanDuel than anything. At least on DraftKings, there's a couple centers you could slip into a forward spot, and it works out.
Per dollar, do you like Ayton and Porzingis more than Trae Young?
What's that?
Points per dollar, Ayton and Porzingis more than Trae Young?
Yes, easily. And I don't feel it doesn't feel as risky. Like, Trae Young should crush it, but I do. It just seems like every time I play Trae Young in the can't miss spot, he misses, whether it be a rolled ankle or something, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm still gonna have the likely around 20% Trae Young. It's just there's always a level of volatility that only he can bring. Drummond, this gets go. If Canner can touch 40, do I need Cat? So on FanDuel, if you're asking if Canner hits 40 fantasy points, do you need Cat? Well, this is where I think you kind of have to appreciate that FanDuel feels a lot like tiers when it comes to positions. So sometimes having great value is great, but if Cat gives you 60 fantasy points at that position, like if he outscores Canner by 20 or more, there's probably lineups that make that work more to get more raw points out of your lineup completely.
It depends what everyone else does. Like if you're playing Canner at center, you're probably going to pay up for Devin Booker, Russell, Trae Young, and if like one of those guys go for like a 65, like if Russell goes for a 65,
yeah,
then yeah.
That's all there is to it. That's all I got to say about that. Hey, twitter.com/Gundacker if you guys got anything else for me, DMs are open. Give me a fat follow. Give me that young follow. And if you guys got any questions, hit me up on Twitter. You can tweet at me and do my best to answer. If you have good questions for the class, I'll quote tweet it because a lot of people have good questions. Then, of course, if you do really good tonight, let me know. Tag me in them screenshots. Hey, I don't care what it is. I got some cats that are tagging me in $10 wins. Just happy. We're all having fun. You're having fun. You're winning some money. You get some scratch, some loose change for Taco Tuesday. It's all good, man. I appreciate you guys making part of my day be part of your day. I got to get in the RunDFS.com VIP voice chat. It is going to be a big slate tonight. So I certainly appreciate you giving me a bit of your time. If you would, on your way out, hit that thumbs up on FanDuel. I would definitely appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And, yeah, love you guys. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.